Hey you, hope you're well. My name is Nikki DeForest and welcome to my channel where we explore all things spiritual. In this video, I am sharing a story, a cautionary tale really, a story about how I received a gift and how that gift left, receded, went away, disappeared, and what I learned along the way. So many of you are new to me here, so let me just explain that I have been in a spiritual awakening process for years. I'm not exactly sure when it started, probably around 2019. Definitely it got rolling in 2020, and it still continues to this day. And it was in May of 2022 that I started experiencing mediumship. A channel opened within me that day, and one of my cats came through, a cat who crossed over years ago, many years ago, 2017 maybe. The energy of this cat suddenly appeared, my sweet cat, Jack Trouble. He came to me as if he were in my arms on my lap with me. I felt him. I could feel his smooth fur. I could feel his presence with me. And then we conversed. We had a short conversation, and he said very sweet things, and we got to love each other for a little while. And then he curled up in my lap. It was an amazing experience, and that was the very first time I had ever experienced mediumship. The days and weeks after that, I experienced more souls, entities coming to me. My father came through to me and we did healing. It was so healing. I received another cat, my dear sweet princess. She came to me. A mother-in-law came through to me. My mother didn't come through to me because her energy, her essence is one of my spirit guides. So she said, it's technically not mediumship, but I experienced mediumship several times over. It was beautiful. It was healing. I wrote about it on my blog. I think I have a few blog posts in a row that were all about mediumship, learning, connecting with the people, with the energies, with the souls that I had known in their earth lives, and how we healed and what was going on. So I wrote about it in my blog. I will leave links to those posts below rather than going into the long story about how it all came out. I'll leave links below in the description box. And if you're interested or if this resonates with you, please feel free to connect to my blog on my website. All was well for a while. And then fast forward to the autumn of 2022. Around October, I opened a spiritual consulting business because I thought I could use my psychic abilities, my mediumship to help others or assist others on their path, on their awakening path or on their spiritual path. I just hope to assist others. And also, I had a goal of generating financial freedom for myself. So I thought I could use my gifts to complete my goal and create financial freedom for myself. I really wanted to help people on their path. I wanted to, create financial freedom for myself. And so I opened the business, I announced it on my blog, and I was I was excited for it in the beginning. It was only about 2 weeks later when I knew in my heart that that consulting business no longer resonated. I no longer resonated with this business I had just opened 2 weeks before and was really excited about. No, it didn't resonate. My heart wasn't in it. So I took time to understand. So I opened it in October. So December, I'm thinking about it. I'm learning. I'm trying to really understand why I would open it, why it didn't resonate. And I also wanted to learn why my gifts were no longer coming through for me. The gift of mediumship was no longer available to me. It wasn't coming through for me naturally in channels with my guides or with my spirit team. It wasn't anything I could recreate anymore. Mediumship vanished for me. It receded. I no longer had that gift. I admit I was confused and sad, and I didn't really understand what was going on with me. I had another dark night of the soul period and really went inward to understand the process or what had happened or what I felt. Okay, so this wasn't going to happen for me, and I got in my head about my financial security, as you know, it's a thing, it's what we do nowadays. It was a challenging period for me. But I did know that consulting no longer resonated with me. So in January of 2023, I closed my consulting business permanently. And I really, permanently, nothing's permanent, but I closed the consulting business. It no longer resonated. I no longer had the gifts. I no longer had the energy within me to give it. I just didn't feel that way for it. And I knew it was the right decision. I didn't worry about that. I knew it was the right decision because I had received zero interest about my consulting and zero clients. And that reminds me of something that one of my favorite tarot readers says. Her name is Baba Jolie. She's here on YouTube. She has a phrase, a saying that sticks with me, and it was the perfect time for me to remember it. Rejection is protection and redirection. So no clients, no interest, no nothing about my consulting business meant rejection is protection and redirection. I was being redirected somewhere else. Consulting business wasn't for me. I was good with that. I let it go. And things got quiet for a while. I continued to write my blog about my spiritual awakening. I continued to share videos on YouTube. Life continued. And then just the other day, a video came into my awareness. In fact, it had been on my watch later list for a couple weeks. But it came into my awareness and I watched it. The video was by Eckhart Tolle, Master Eckhart Tolle. I'm going to read this off my notes because I want to make sure I get the title of this video correct. It is Awakening and Special Abilities, Eckhart on Healing Powers, Aura Seeing, and much more. Watch that video. In that video, he tells the story of a spiritual leader who was gifted an amazing gift. And so he set up a business, had all these people coming to him for his gift, and his gift had receded. Sounds familiar. I was intrigued. Then this spiritual leader did something that, gosh, I hope nobody does. He wanted to mask the fact that his gift had receded, so he invented a scheme to mimic his gift. And so he was defrauding people. It's a fascinating story. I'll link to it below. Lots of links in this description this time. But it was a fascinating story, and Master Eckhart goes on to explain that this spiritual leader became egoically identified or attached egoically to his gift. And so his gift receded. Light bulb moment for me. True light bulb moment for me. I had become egoically attached to my gift. I tried to use my gift for, the goal's not bad, financial independence, financial freedom, that's a beautiful goal. The goal wasn't the problem. It was my attachment, my egoic attachment, thinking it was my gift and I could use it how I wanted and I could use it for my goals and I could push forward. No, 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 it wasn't going to work. I could not be egoically attached to my gift of mediumship and then try and use it and leverage it for another goal not aligned in divine timing. And so my gift receded, just like that spiritual leader's gift receded. Whew. It was a big lesson for me. And so I approached it as a lesson. Okay, now I know exactly what happened. Now I know why my gift of mediumship receded. It's because I attached myself to it. I changed all of my social media headers to say, I'm a psychic medium and I'm a consultant and I'm all this stuff. Oh my gosh, my ego. No, that's not how it works. So, once I learned this lesson, internalized it, and then I was able to release the energy of egoic attachment to my gifts, not even my gifts, to the gifts that I had been given. I released the egoic attachment. I released attachment of all sorts. I started doing other energy releasings. I forgave myself. It's a big one. I forgave myself for operating in a way within my ego. I forgave myself for operating outside of the flow of divinity, of my path. I forgave myself for a lot of things. I practiced gratitude, gratitude for my gifts, gratitude for the lessons, gratitude for the understanding of what occurred during that period of my awakening. I practiced all sorts of energy releasing, forgiveness, and gratitude. Forgiveness is a very big part, or it can be a very big part. I hate the word should, but honestly, maybe it should be a very big part of our awakening. During our awakening process, we need to forgive ourselves for the things that we did prior to our awareness of them, or prior to our consciousness level. If we can only operate from our current consciousness level, I had to forgive myself for not being conscious of the ego and how my ego was taking over in that situation. We have to know to forgive ourselves. I tell this story because the intention of my channel is to share of what I've learned on my awakening process to assist others in their awakening process. So I can't just tell all the good stories and all the happy sunshine, rainbow, unicorn things. I have to tell the honest stories about beautiful things are happening on our awakening, and those things can be rescinded if we treat them in a way egoically or in a way that's pushing forward on our path, not being in flow or not using them in the way they're intended to be used. And I firmly believe mediumship was supposed to happen for me for healing purposes. I was not supposed to go out in the world and be a famous medium. That's not my path. In fact, my path is right now, right here. My path is to share these stories, share my experience, share the wisdom that I've learned. That's my path. I have no doubt that all beautiful things will happen for me. I will find financial freedom. I will attract abundance that provides me financial freedom. I'll get there in divine and perfect timing. And this is when one of my all-time favorite affirmations comes through. I am exactly who I need to be in this moment. I am exactly where I need to be in this moment. And I am exactly when I need to be in this moment. I have acceptance in this moment. Don't be like me. And don't be like that spiritual leader that Eckhart Tolle told us about. Do not get, excuse me, do not get or do not become egoically attached to the gifts that you receive on your spiritual path or in your awakening process. Those aren't our gifts. Those aren't ours to do it and run out in the world and try and create something for ourselves. It's no, we have to follow our path, follow our guidance, follow our spiritual guides, work with the ascended masters, work with the angels. We're just supposed to be on that path. Allow us to be guided. Allow ourselves to be guided forward step by step. I remember consulting my inner team, my heart and soul, about starting that consulting business. And I think, if I remember correctly at the time, it was a yes, it was a go. But in hindsight, it was likely more so that I could receive this egoic, don't get attached egoically kind of message. I was supposed to learn this. I'm supposed to be here right now. So I may have understood that they said yes to opening the consulting business. But really, they were saying, oh, yes, learn this lesson, release attachments. If this resonates with you, please remember to like and subscribe. I'm truly grateful for your beautiful energy. Truly grateful you're here. I love you so much. Until the next time on Exploring Spirituality, I love you. Be well.